This video is on the topic of audit technique of test checking. So what is test checking? Test checking is a process of selecting and checking of a few transactions from a large volume of transaction. If the entries checked are found to be correct, then the auditor assumes that the remaining entries are also correct. Let us take a very daily example. Suppose there is a new brand of coffee that we want to try. So if I go to a shop, I get a 10-gram packet, a 250-gram packet, and a 500-gram packet. If I'm just going to taste the brand, then normally I am going to buy the 10-gram packet. So that is specifically what the auditor does. He wants to check the entries of the company, and there is a large volume of the transaction available to him, and he has to give his opinion on it. So now let us go to the back to the example of coffee. I make 1 cup of coffee from the 10-gram packet, and I give my opinion on the 500-gram packet, because I assume that the 500-gram packet or the 250-gram packet will have the same taste as the 10-gram packet. So the same happens with the auditor. He checks a few transactions from a large volume of transactions, and if he finds it correct, then he assumes that the remaining entries are also correct, and he bases the audit opinion or audit report based on these transactions. Let us move further. Can we apply it everywhere? And the answer is no. Test checking can be applied in these 5 scenarios. When there are a large volume of identical and routine transactions, such as salaries and wages, we have the same number of employees, we may have the same number of amount of salary may be more or less similar. Even we go to purchase, sales, payment to debtors, payment to sales, creditors, etc., etc. So if the large number of transactions are very identical in nature, then test checking can be applied over there. Point number 2 tells us that the transactions are very large in numbers. If there are only a few transactions, the auditor will check it. Such as I keep a standard that 25% of the transactions are to be checked, and if there are less than 100, 25% of the transactions are to be checked, or if there are 100 to 150 transactions, then check everything. So it depends on what is the standard the auditor is keeping for himself. So when transactions are very large in numbers, then he can apply test checking. If there are very few, then test checking is not required. Point number 3, when the auditor wants to certify the accounts very quickly, then he can apply test checking to save the time. Point number 4, the auditor is an experienced person. He understands the client or the client's business or the nature of the transaction. Then he can apply test checking. So based on his experience, the auditor decides where to apply and where not to apply. Point number 5, if there is a system of check and balance, which is known as internal control and internal checking system in the organization, there the auditor can apply test checking. But it all depends on the satisfaction of the auditor related to the internal check and balance system of the organization. If the auditor is satisfied, he applies test checking. If he is not satisfied, then he can go for 100% checking. What are the advantages of test checking? It reduces the volume of work. Checking all the transactions and checking a few transactions. If the auditor is checking a few transactions, then time is saved, and that extra time can be used for concentrating on important areas of audit. Point number 2, it reduces the time and cost of both the auditor and the client. Even we can add energy of the auditor and the client is saved. So test checking helps in reducing not only time, cost, but also energy of both the auditor and the client. Point number 3, if the auditor is applying test checking, then the work gets completed quickly and the auditor can make his report very fast. Point number 4, test checking, if it is applied, then the audit becomes very effective, because the auditor is able to go through all the varieties of transactions that are there in the organization, and those transactions which are selected for test checking, they are checked thoroughly. So it is a very effective means of checking. Point number 5, and the most important point of test checking, the test checking has to be done based on some type of scientific assessment, scientific formula, scientific tables. Okay. And normally when test checking is applied, these things are taken into consideration by the auditor. The auditor doesn't randomly picks up any transaction based on his liking, based on his biasness. He is applying his own experience at the time of selection of the sample. Point number 6, in test checking, the auditor get a glimpse of the accounts of the organization. and he is able to make an opinion related to the statement of affairs of the business. And what is his opinion? Whether the accounts are maintained in a true and fair manner. A glimpse of that he gets when he does test checking. But as we say, there are certain disadvantages. So what are the disadvantages? Number one, if no scientific approach is there in test checking, then the result will be incorrect. So it is all about applying test checking. If you don't apply any scientific method, then test checking is not to be done. Second, if test checking is not done properly, then the risk that is there in the measurement in the accounts is not usually measured. The auditor has to find an opinion. So just if he is not applying test checking method properly, then he may not be able to understand the inherent risks that are there in maintenance of the accounts. Point number 3. The audit assistant, this is related to 2 and 3. The audit assistant selects simple transactions or transactions which are easily recognizable or understandable to him. So some complicated transactions will be omitted, and this may hamper the audit opinion or the audit report. Point number 4. If the client staff comes to know about the audit technique or the test checking methods applied by the auditor, then they become careless in maintaining the accounts. They get a feeling that their accounts which they are maintaining or their work that they are doing may not be checked thoroughly by the auditor, and so carelessness creeps into the work of the staff. This relate point number 4 and point number 5 are related to each other. Test checking is applied out of suppose 100 transactions, 30-40 transactions are checked. The remaining 60 transactions are not checked. There is a possibility that errors and frauds may be left undetected. As I told you in point number 3, the audit staff may choose simple transactions. This client staff may get careless in doing their work. And suppose here there are written errors and frauds, but even mistakes, genuine mistakes done by the client staff may not be detected. But the major problem is errors and frauds. If committed and they are not detected, will hamper the audit. Point number 6. If the auditor applies test checking to those organizations where he is not satisfied with the internal check and balance system, that is internal check and control system, then test checking fails. Test checking is not to be applied where the internal check control system is not strong. Point number 7. Point number 7 states that at all organizations test checking is not to be done. In small organizations, the number of transactions are not in very large numbers, so test checking should be avoided when audit is done of small business concerns. Now we go to the next part, the duties or what precautions the auditor should take regarding test checking. First of all, selection of the test checking sample must be done in such a manner that they represent all the transactions and the nature of the business. Point number 2, the client staff should not be included in anything related to test checking. The auditor should do it independently. It should be a secret. Point number 3, the transactions that the auditor is choosing, he should be very cautious and he should apply his intelligence and professional skills while choosing the transaction. Next, point number 4. In case of cash book and passbook, bank passbook, all transactions are to be checked. Here test checking should not be applied. Point number 4. The auditor should not adopt test checking while checking the entries of the first and the last month of the year. And all the entries must be thoroughly checked. First month and last month mostly contains certain critical transactions. Outstanding, prepaid, carry forward, opening balances, closing balances. Sometimes some adjustment entries are being made in the first and the last month. So that is why first and last month test checking should not be done. First month according to financial year comes in April, and the last month according to the financial year will be March. So March and April entries are to be checked thoroughly. Point number 6. If a certain area of transaction are done by 2 or 3 employees, then the audit test checking should be test checking should be done in such a manner that the sample transactions taken should be related to each employees and all the employees' work are to be checked. So point number 6 is that the auditor should check the work done by every employee. Point number 7. The size of the sample, the nature of the sample, etc. should be selected based on the experience of the auditor.